languages. There are lots of and the queries is going on. SQL is most influential commercial marketing product language. So the other languages might be QBE, Quinn, and Datalog. And some of the other languages are Sybase also, MySQL, and informatics by IBM, etc., etc. So the next slide is. So the introduction part is. So the SQL commands is basically divided into 4 types. The first one is the data definition language. The data definition language, we get the commands like create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. And the second is data manipulation language. So we get here select, insert, update, and delete. The third one is the data control language where grant and revoke comes here. And this transaction, the fourth one is transaction control language. The Dbms starts from here. So let's come into the, so DDL is nothing but data definition language. The data definition language is nothing but we are defining the language, defining and modifying the language and its structure. So here, so what are the commands coming is create. So create command is nothing but the creating the object in the database, they're creating a new table. And so the data definition language, the structure of the table, like creating the table, deleting the table, and altering the table, and we can do some other modifications also. All these commands of DDL are auto-committed. That means it's permanently save all the changes in the database. Some commands that come on the DDL are create, alter, drop, truncate, and rename. Going to the next slide. So the next type of the next part of the data Dbms languages is data manipulation language. Here the commands are used to modify the database. It is responsible for all forms of changes in the database. The command of DTML is not auto-committed. That means it's not permanently saved here. All the changes can be done with the help of the rollback. So some of the few commands section is select, insert, update, and delete. So this data control language is used to grant and take authorities from the database. So why we are taking this for security basis. Some commands that come under data control languages are granted certain giving some privileges to some persons who is working in the organization. For example, a principal suppose is managing one cadre and the next comes to HOD. So some privileges are given to HOD. So and HOD give privileges to other faculties and the faculties give privileges to students. So we use all this with the help of grant. Afterwards, when we leave the organization, it is that the grant is being sneaked away. So that is done the rework. For example, grant select update on my table to some. This is a syntax actually. Syntax is select update on my table to some user and the user. So here what happening is we are granting with the help of the select command. So the next the revoke command. Revoke command is whatever is being granted, we are just sneezing it, we are snatching it, or we are releasing it. So that is called the back permission. So revoke select update on my data on my table from user 1 to user 2. So the two users, we are taking the revoke command. That means we are not giving the permission. We are taking back the permissions. So the next comes the transaction control language. Here the transaction control commands can only use with data manipulation language commands like insert, delete, and update, as we have told before only before the previous slides. These operations are automatically committed in the database. That's why we cannot be used for creating tables and dropping them. Some commands that are used for these is committer. Once we are committed, it stores in the permanent in the server. And rollback is nothing but once we delete the command, we can get the rollback command. So save point is at till what point we want to save. Till that point, from next point, no need, when the current goes off, it will not save. So let's coming to the commands and the syntax and the examples in this slide. So command is used to save all the transactions in the database. So the syntax for this is commit. For example is delete from customer where the condition is age is 25, commit. That's all. Again, after giving the commit, the second example of that is the rollback. Rollback is used for undo transactions that have already been saved to the database. For example, the syntax is rollback. So this is it's not a Dbms is not a case sensitive. We can write it in any form, but for our clarity, we're writing it in cap locks. So example is delete from customers where age is equal to 25, and the next command is rollback. So whatever the command we have deleted, we're getting it back. So age of where age is equal to 25, we're getting it back. The third command of this point is save point. It is used to roll the transaction back to the certain point without rolling back the entire transaction. That means till the point we have saved, that point will be saved. Even the current goes also, that point will be saved. From next point it will not. For example, syntax is save point, the name. Okay. Now the basic structure. Now the syllabus starts from here. The forms of basic SQL queries. The basic structure of SQL consists of three clauses like select clause, from, and where. Now coming to select clause. It corresponds to the projection operation of relational algebra. We have seen the relational algebra, which was invented in 1970 by E.S. Codd for the relational algebra and tuple relations in the unit 2. So that one we are going to we are corresponding with that projection operation of relational algebra used to list the attributes decide in the result. Next, the from clause correspond to the Cartesian products. Cartesian products means a union, intersection. Next, next as clause. So some of the clauses are there, that the Cartesian products are there. So empty sets. So all this comes with Cartesian products, Cartesian product operation of relational algebra used to list the relations that to be scanned in the evaluation of expression. Where corresponds to selection predictions of the relational algebra. It consists of predicates involving attributes of relations that appeared in the from clause. That means here where clause is there with the help of the from clause. For example, select some A1, A2, and A3, so on till AN from this R1, R2, where clause is there, where P. So A1 is nothing but attribute, R1 is nothing but relation, P is nothing predicate. We have seen what is predicate in the previous classes. It is equivalent to the following relational algebra like pi. This is called the projection. Pi resembles the projection. A1, A2, and AN, and this tau is nothing but the projections. Sigma is nothing but the selections of tables. So it can be this following tables like X, Fn, etc. Coming to the next slide. So now the select clause is there. Let us see some simple queries that can use the select clause to express them in SQL. Select S name from student. That means you start selecting the student name from the student table. So usually the base table is ID, S name, age, branch, and address. From there, we are selecting only the student name. So student name is represented as S name. So what are the names? That is Raj, Ravi, and Raj. So here, this Raj and the first number, ID number 10 Raj is different from the 30 Raj, but the name is same. But we are not seeing it as we are selecting only the names. So we are getting all that. Next, by default, select clause includes duplicate values also because Raj is duplicate. Okay, the names are duplicate. We cannot tell the persons are duplicate, the names are duplicate. If we want to force to eliminate the duplicates, we have to use the distinct keyword that which we can avoid the confusion. So SQL command with select distinct statement is as follows. The select distinct statement used to return only distinct, that is different values. Distinct is different values. Inside the table, a column often contains many duplicate values, and sometimes you want to list the distinct values. For example, select distinct syntax. Distinct like column 1, column 2 from table name. For example, select distinct S name from student list, we will not get duplicacy of Raj. So Raj, how many Raj was there in the previous base table? There were 2 Raj, but now only 1 Raj and Ravi has come. That is the output. Now the asterisk, that is the multiplication symbol, can be denoted by all attributes. The following SQL statement will be select and all the attributes of student. Select star from student, which we're selecting all the rows, all the columns and rows and all the parts of that is rows. That is a relational database. You all know that relational database consists of rows and columns. That is tuples and all the tuples and all the columns are there. So we have seen it. So whatever the base table is that we're getting the output the same table. The arithmetic expression, you know that the base like the plus, minus, asterisk, multiplication, and division. We can use it in the select clause. For example, the following statement return the age. Suppose we want to add the age because our basic table now we are there. You have joined the first year, but after 4 years plus 4 should be added. Suppose you are doing MBBS course, that is plus 5 should be added. So for that, no need to change the whole table. By using the select command, select ID, yes name, age plus 5 from the basic table, that is student table. So automatically the base table was 19, now it is 24. The next coming to the next slide. Now we are seeing the where clause. Where clause uses logically connectives and like or and not, and or and not. And is like N shape, or is like E shape, and not is like apostrophe. That is one exclamatory mark will come. One line and one spot down. So operands of logical connectives can be expressive, involving the comparison operators like less than, greater than, equal to, not less than, not equal to, greater equal to, less than equal to, and so on. Select S name age from student where age is less than 20. What are the from the base table? What is that? Who are the guys? Raj and Ravi are the guys. So the output table will come from less than 20 means 19 and 18 will come. So you have to refer to the base table always. Okay. So this is all refer to the base table. Next is select S name age from student where age is greater than 18. So greater than 18 is coming from that is the 2 Rajas are there who is having age of 19 and 20. Between between means all everything will come. Between can be using the simple comparisons. Select S name age from student where age is between 18 and 20 means we get only 19. The student name is Raj. The next slide. From clause by itself defines the partition product of the relation in the clause. We have seen in relational database by E.S. Pod, who was working in IBM. I have done the description in unit 2 already. Next, where when the attribute is present is more than one relation, that can be referred to relational name, attribute, name to avoid the ambiguity. Select student ID, S name, course, subject from student course, where student ID is equal to course ID. Here there are 2 tables, that is the student table and the course table. From student table, we are taking ID and the S name. From the course, we are taking the subject name. So that dot is there. The dot tells the alias. Dot tells the alias. When you're using multiple tables, we have to use dot. I have told you in the previous class. When using a single table, we can use directly the ID, something like this. No need to use dot. I have told you before like this. Next, coming to rename. Rename is also called something like alias only. That is changing from old name to the new name or something like that. Others you want to remove. Suppose employee is there. EMPLOYE is there. Such a big one it is there. So I want to write an EMP. We can use it for alias. Like SQL alias, I used to give the table or the column in the table or a temporary name. Alias is that what happens is in the base table, whatever table you're creating, a copy will be created in the server. So whatever manipulations are doing, we'll do it in the table which you are running table. Running table is we are taking a copy, we're doing all the alterations, and last when you're giving the commit or say, it goes and stores in the server. So what now you're telling now after all the so many only once one a dinner why you're like that? Okay, but what can I do? I'll give you only the attendance. Only that I can help and see the PPTs. Okay, Elias is next. The SQL like operator is there. Like operator is that with the help of select, we can use the like operator. The like operator is used to where clause with a specified search for the specified pattern in the column. There are two wildcards that are open for the conjunction and like operators. That wildcards are percentage and the underscore. First, our percentage represents 0, 1, and multiple characters, and underscore for one or single character. Like operator, I have given a table where you can find out everything very clearly. So, like operator is used for where clause, where customer name like a percentage. Your description also is given. Find any values from the start, which starts with a, because a percentage is given. That one starts with a, because where customer name like percentage a means find values at the end of the end of a. See, the percentage is after and percentage is before. That is the only difference here. Okay, where customer of percentage or percentage means you can take any value. Where customer name like R percentage means underscore R percentage means for the second character which starts with R. The next where customer like A underscore and percentage means
two character word starting with A.
Two character word starting with A. That means A and hyphen. So starts with A, hyphen represents the second character. Next, A with two hyphens means three characters it represents. Next, that is the next where clause with like A percentage means next starts with A and ends with O because it's A percentage O. That means ends with O. So these are the some of the few examples which I have done for your clarity. Next, coming to the set operators. The next topic what we are seeing in the syllabus is the set operator. That is the form of basic SQL query is over. Now coming to the second option is union, intersect, and accept. So that topic we are seeing now. Next union is nothing but a unition of all the things. So whatever the unit, unition of all the things, it is represented by U when we write in a relational database. But here the command is here. We use the specific syntax called union. So the SQL union operator is used to combine the result set of two or more select statements. And every select statement within union must have the same number of columns. The column must have similar data types. The column of every select statement must also be the same order. Union syntax select column from table 1, union select column from table 2. That means whatever the data of the column name of table 1 plus the table 2 is getting united, we get the output. Which were some of the few commands we have done already in the see, this is some of the commands we have seen in the lab also. So we can go through that. Next, the next slide is union all means we are even taking the duplicate values also. The before union means no duplicate values are not there, but for union all duplicate values also exist. For example, we have seen the before Raj was 2 Raj was there. Even the 2 Raj will come. The before union, for union only 1 Raj will come. Union all the duplicate Raj also will come. So that is the only difference. The next slide is coming to intersection. Intersection means which is common in table 1 and which is common in table 2. That only that output will come. So for example, The SQL intersect clause is used to combine two select statements and returns rows only from the select statement that is identical to the rows and second select statement. This means intersect returns only to common rows return to the both select statement. So which is common, that is going to be the output. For syntax, syntax is select column name from table 1, intersect select column name from table 2. The next slide, what we're going to do is except operator. Except operator means which is not in, suppose there is two sets called table 1 and table 2. So whatever present in table 1, that is going to be the output, and not present in table 2, that is going to be the output. So, okay. So the SQL except clause operators used to combine two select statements and return rows from first select statement that is not returned from the second select statement. This meant except returns only rows which is not available in the second select statement. Syntax is select column name from table 1, except select column name from table 2. Next, coming to the aggregation function. The time is up now. The time is not up, I think so. Can I go to this topic? Time is running out, I feel. Okay, okay. Then I'll take the attendance. Just be in the line. Okay. Just be, I'll take the attendance, ma. Be one line, 1 minute will be. I'll take a screenshot. Just be in the line. Okay. Why few students have come? Remaining students are still sleeping. But 10 o'clock is the sleeping time, my dear students. Wait 1 second, I'm taking a screenshot. First one. I want the first one. Okay, students, huh? I'll send you this PPTs also, okay? Okay, ma'am. Thank you, students. Okay, then bye. Have your lunch.